Famine, football, and Palestine. What do they have in common?
Crazy to think that this is where it began.
I'm in Glasgow, home to Celtic FC. I'm excited to see them play, but more so to meet their superfans, the Green Brigade, whose unrelenting support for Palestine got them banned from the stadium. They don't usually agree to be on camera, but they've given us access to their world.
I'm fully kitted out for today.
To learn about the club's surprising history, why its fans are at odds with the club, and how Palestine is somehow part of this story.
It's freezing. I'm here with that guy.
Whatever, yeah.
He looks dodgy, but he's a great dude. You ready?
I'm ready. This area is renowned for the Irish community in Glasgow. So you've got Celtic pubs basically all the way
down
from there that lead you all the way to the stadium.
This is Liam. He's a journalist and he's going to be taking me to the game today.
From a young age I went to games with my granddad, I went to games with my dad. So you grow up, kind of Celtic's just part of your identity, part of who you are.
Your grandfather.
He used to drink in there. A few pints on the way to the game as a match day tradition.
It's 10 a.m.
Yeah, we're in Glasgow.
Are you a Celts fan right there? Why are you a fan of the club?
Irish.
Irish.
Celtic's Irish.
Yeah.
That's a big family. Back to the bar. Hey lads, have a good day.
Yeah, you too, thanks. And so how large is the Irish community in Glasgow, would you say?
It's probably about 30% of the
That's quite
city
sizable.
or something.
Yeah,
it's huge. So the Irish came all through the 1700s, 1800s, largely during the time of British occupation of Ireland.
The Irish were occupied and colonized by the English and then the British for over 700 years.
They were thought of as incapable of living a civilized existence.
Their rule was marked by racism towards the Irish, plundering of their resources, exploitation of their labor, and the suppression of attempts at resistance. But things reached a new low in 1845 with the An Gorta Mór, or the Great Hunger.
And with dreadful rapidity, they began to starve.
A disease struck the potato crop of Ireland, which a third of the population relied on for sustenance. This led to widespread disease and famine that lasted for 7 years, killing an estimated 1 million people and forcing another 1 million to flee and become refugees. These refugees went all over the world, including Glasgow. But they didn't have it easy there either. The predominantly Catholic Irish population faced discrimination from the largely Protestant Scottish population and were poor refugees in the city.
So it was a very impoverished area of the city. Large sections of it still are very impoverished, but a lot of people lived in the slums basically here. They lived in what were called single ends, which were one room effectively, and you'd have whole families living in one room, maybe 9, 10, 11. Celtic was founded as a means to raise money for this community. So Celtic was founded as a charity.
The football team was founded by a priest who used the profits from the entry fees to pay for soup kitchens, feeding the poor Irish community.
Ensured that not only Glasgow's Irish immigrants had a better chance, but that anyone who needed the help of the club could get it.
And that memory of the oppression that people face both in Ireland and here is still something that's still recognised, still thought about, still sung about, as we might see later at Celtic Park as well.
Incredible. This is why I love football, because it reflects the community, the society, its politics, its configuration. It's amazing. It's a microcosm of where you come from and where you live, isn't it? I like this one. What do you think? Yeah, we're going to the game today, so I have to...
Oh, you going to the game? How did you get a ticket? I never get mine.
Walking down the street and I noticed the Green Brigade. What is the Green Brigade?
So the Green Brigade is a group of Celtic ultras, basically.
Yeah, the super fans.
Exactly. They're renowned for their noise, their support of the team, but they're also renowned for their politics. They're predominantly left-wing and they support causes like the Palestinians. Sometimes that can put them at loggerheads with the club itself.
Which is the issue today.
Which is the issue today, and it's quite a lot of the time is the issue between Celtic Football Club and the Green Brigade, is that the club like the noise they bring, they like a lot of the colour that they bring.
They don't like the politics.
They don't like the politics quite as much.
Since the start of Israel's genocidal war in Gaza in October, the Celtic Football Club asked fans not to bring any flags affiliated with what's happening to the stadiums. The Green Brigade did anyway,
Due to repeated incidents of unacceptable conduct involving the Green Brigade, the club has suspended the season.
While the club denies it, fans believe this unacceptable conduct was their vocal and relentless support for Palestine. So they won't be in the stadium when we head to the game later today, but they'll be outside. Kickoff isn't for another 2 hours, but we did happen to see them before then.
There's an annual anti-racism march, and this is it here.
If you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
What's going on? All injustice. We want Palestine free.
Uncle had his talking points down.
Towards the end of the procession, we found them.
You can tell the flag has been through it, you know what I mean? It's a big flag, but it's seen some action. And you're part of the...
So I'm part of the Green Brigade, Celtic Ultras.
Uh-huh.
So we try and attend this march every year just to show support for the anti-racist purpose of the march. This is obviously our city. It's important for us to be out in our city and standing up for things that we believe in, like anti-racism.
Why is it part of your values as the Green Brigades to attend an anti-racist march?
For us, Celtic is enshrined in politics and values of social justice.
Yeah.
So we're a proudly political, left-leaning ultras group, and it's a really strong part of our identity, just like it is a strong part of Celtic Football Club's identity.
Yeah. And I mean, I noticed you have a Free Palestine scarf, and you were holding the Palestinian flag.
Yeah.
Is that also part of the values of
Yeah, so I mean, Celtic fans have always shown support for the Palestinian struggle and the Palestinian people.
Yeah.
Mainly probably because they see an alignment or a similarity with the Irish cause. So obviously Celtic Football Club is steeped in Irish history. And then for the Green Brigade, we just keep carrying that torch. What we do is relatively small scale. We just fly some flags, we try and raise awareness, we try and provide some financial support for communities in Palestine. But everything that we do is rooted in a long, proud history.
And you see the Irish struggle and the Palestinian struggle interlinked. They're both anti-colonial struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to understand the history of Celtic and why we were formed. So Celtic was formed to feed the starving Irish Catholic immigrant population.
It was a priest, Brother Wilfred, an Irish priest that founded Celtic. And they were founded just up here, in St Mary's Church.
Hopefully this cart won't run us over.
And they said at the meeting here that took place in '87 that a football club would be formed for the maintenance of dinner tables for the poor and the unemployed.
Wow. Tell me more about the famine. What is the famine, the Great Famine?
So the Great Famine in Ireland happened in the mid-1800s. So in a large part it was a man-made famine.
See, the thing about this famine is that it didn't happen in a vacuum. How could a green, fertile island surrounded by waters full of fish and meadows full of pigs and cattle experience a famine from the disease of one crop? Enter British rule. According to British law, Irish Catholics couldn't get fishing or hunting licenses. A lot of the food grown and raised in Ireland was being sent to England.
But it was a British civil servant who would soon have the power of life and death.
I do not think the way to raise the condition of the people is to give relief from any public fund. I object to the principle of taxing the people in this country to relieve the distress of Ireland.
The British Empire continued to drain Ireland of its resources, while idly watching the famine spread without doing anything to stop it.
And like in other places of the British Empire, millions died while others lived very, very well. We are wretched, famished, scorned, human tools to build your pride. And this is a memorial.
That's essentially where it all started, right? British colonization, occupation of Ireland, man-made famine, million starved, million died, million left Ireland, came here, and as part of the oppression they faced here, they started a football club to care for them and the community, which is an incredible story.
Why it's based here is a far more interesting story.
Can you tell us, do you mind being on camera?
My grandfather,
Yeah.
who was born just pre-famine days, so I mean it's Genocide is pretty much within family touch and distance.
You called it a genocide, and it was a genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, it was a common British tool actually, like throughout the centuries.
He's right. The British stood by and watched famines ravage India dozens of times while it was under their empire, killing tens of millions of people. All the while, food resources from India were still being pumped out of the country and exported to the UK for British consumption or export. And whether it was in Ireland or India, prioritizing plunder and the hoarding of stolen wealth over the lives of millions of innocents was possible because of how the British saw these people under its empire. The Irish Catholics were seen as savage, backwards, ape-like, violent, and alcoholic. Similarly, Indians were also seen as savages that needed to be civilized and that they should be grateful for Britain's colonization.
They have to dehumanize to be able to kill, right? And so they use racism.
Yeah, you see that up to today.
Yeah.
You know, like your Palestinians aren't.
I'm Palestinian,
Yeah.
and I'm here trying to understand the connection between Celtic and Palestine, and Ireland and Palestine.
Well, Celtic are a club found out of genocide and oppression.
Yeah.
So simply put, what is going on in Palestine, say the last 75 years,
Yeah.
you know, with the Nakba and stuff like that, is.
You see a direct connection.
Oh, aye, without a direct, you know, totally.
Founding of the Celtic Football Club in this parish of St Mary's.
You were about to go to the game?
I'm going to the game today, yeah.
So that's him there.
Brother
Yeah.
Wilfred.
Are you religious, Liam?
I have my moments. Usually when Celtic are getting beat.
Or does it feel like to be here as a very big Celtic fan and just taking the history of it all over again?
It's kind of emotional, to be honest. It's kind of potty, like to take it in. You know the Celtic story growing up. My grandfather actually grew up around here, around this area, the Calton in Glasgow. It's just an area that means a lot to me because of that as well, and because of the stories that he told me. But this place means a lot to millions of people around the world. You know, this is where Celtic began, and like, you know, Celtic from its formation gives people an identity, a sense of belonging, a family, friends. Some brilliant moments in life, some bad moments as well, but also gives people, you know, a real grounding in terms of, you know, the formation of Celtic, the fact that it was founded to you know, help a lot of our ancestors who came here in very difficult circumstances. So it makes you remember where you came from, you know, and I think that's one of the most important things about the club.
Shall we go to the game?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So we're at Celtic Park, Celtic Stadium. We're here with the Green Brigades. They're outside showing support for the club because they've been banned from the stadium for supporting Palestine. My scarf on, ready for the game, ready to walk out. We're not crossing the picket line. We're just showing how much the game sucks without the Green Brigade. So we're in Celtic Park.
Yeah.
Paradise.
Paradise.
We're in the section where the Green Brigade usually sits. This is where Palestinian flags just fill up, becomes a sea of them everywhere. I mean, already the section looks incredibly empty.
And then a lot of others haven't come in solidarity with those that have been banned, including some at the other side of the stadium as well.
As we said, the ultras are the beating heart of the soul of a stadium, of a football club, so it's a shame they're not here today. Stadium is great, but I can also tell that the atmosphere isn't the same for when the Green Brigade are here. We're going to go watch the game with them and leave the stadium.
They're down the road, so yeah.
We're walked over to the Celtic Supporters Association. Amazing. So you're from Aida refugee camp, which is in the occupied West Bank in Bethlehem. And Celtic has a very specific, special connection to that place. What is that connection?
So the initiative came out of the first game that Celtic played against Israeli team, where Celtic was fined for flying the Palestinian flags. This campaign was the birth of Aida Celtic. Aida Celtic is not only like a link between Aida refugee camp and Celtic fans in terms of like establishing a football club in Palestine, but this is like a fundamental part of the Palestinian solidarity, of the link between Celtic fans and Palestine.
And what does it mean to you as a Palestinian to see that?
I feel really emotional and very, very, very important. Like I think it's not a really simple act. Like flying a Palestine flag is not a very simple act to just see flying the Palestine. It's a standing on the right side of history. It's standing with the people that live under oppression for very, very long time, and this international solidarity for Palestinians to see this abroad and to see the Palestine flags flying at Celtic Park or any other places in the world, it gives the Palestinians the hope. It gives them like really a stand. Like I believe a Celtic song, "You Never Walk Alone," is designed for that kind of solidarity.
Yeah.
Is that Palestinians feel they're not alone. There is a huge solidarity. And this is like really important, and this gives people hope, and this gives people like also like a courage to continue and to believe.
Thank you, Celtic.
Thank you for all the people who support Palestine.
I love Celtic.
After weeks of challenging the club, their ban was lifted, and on December 23rd, the Green Brigade were back in the stadium, cheering on Celtic, with a very powerful message. One with roots in the Irish struggle, and true to Celtic's founding mission. This is about more than just football. To support our work so we can make more episodes like this, you can sign up to our Patreon. Find the link in the description.